Get ready to do an open house. Let me turn my my sound off real quick. It's Will Motivation. We get ready to do an open house today. So this is actually live. So when people start coming in here, I'm not going to be able to talk, but you guys can keep me company while I wait for people to show up. I don't know how many people will have show up. I figure probably 5 to 10 different people will show up. But while we go live. Yeah, so this is a property that I rehab, and I'm gonna show it today. So I figure I already had two people come through and see it, and they liked it. So I figure it's gonna rent out pretty quick. All right, so we got our first people showing up. So let's see how this goes down. Hey, y'all call the cops if they try to bum rush me.
Hello.
How you doing?
Doing well, how are you?
Good, I'm well.
My name's Andrew.
Andrew.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. So, got some information for you guys here.
Alright.
And then you can feel free to kind of look around. There's a lot of information on the home. 3 bedrooms. There's 2 bathrooms upstairs.
Okay.
One in the master, and then downstairs there's a finished basement, and it has 2 areas, like a closed off area, and then like an open area, and then a washer dryer.
Okay.
So yeah, feel free to take a look if you have any questions.
Cool. Yeah. We'll just walk around. What's behind the closet over there? Is the guy that's facing just for?
It's for the stairs. It's
Okay.
just, yeah, it's just goes down to the stairs.
Gotcha.
How you doing?
Hi, how are
Come
you?
on in.
You Mr. Moss?
I'm Mr. Moss.
Jerry Alexander.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
Come on in. I got some information there on the island,
Okay.
and you can just check out the house. We're just having an open house. There's one over here. But feel free to look around, and if you have any questions, I'll be right here. Answer your questions. Okay. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, we started the application process, my daughter and I.
Okay.
So, I think she sent you her check stubs already. I need to send you mine.
Okay. What was the name?
Alexander, Jerry Alexander, and Emily Grateful.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that as soon as I get back to you.
This is our cook, so is this kitchen? Get a good look, get a good look.
Yeah, all this stuff is new. We put the stainless steel in here.
That's nice.
Put the island in here. All this granite is new. Cabinets are new. A little bit of space. You got space in here as well. Yeah, that's the prep area right there.
Let me tell you, when I say she will cook, I'm so thankful because now I can retire my skills.
But yeah, there's 3 bedrooms upstairs and then 2 bathrooms upstairs.
So it shouldn't be creepy.
No, I don't think so. There's a part of it that's unfinished, and then there's a part of it that is washer and dryer hookup. Yeah, so the backyard's fenced in. Yeah, you got a little bit. But yeah.
I mean, y'all have to get out there and know when it's time to clean my car.
Yeah, there's no garage. That's the only thing about this house.
You know,
We got houses with garages and no basement, and then we got 2 houses. We only have 2 houses that don't have garages. This one.
this one. Are your animals on the
It's
website?
not. It's on the website, but it's not listed yet. But it'll be available. It's actually going to be cheaper than this one. But the basement's not as nice. But it's similar, it's a 3-bedroom, 1 bathroom. Yeah, that's the only thing with that one.
We need 2.5. We really need 2.5. It's 3 women.
Okay.
And I really need 4 bedrooms, but I really like this one when I saw it.
I have a 4-bedroom that may become available in like a month or so. When you guys trying to?
My daughter has to be out by the middle of March, and I have to be out on my place by the end of March.
Yeah, I can't guarantee that 4-bedroom will be available by then. Cause they're going month to month, but they're saying they're gonna leave every month if they don't. So I don't know how you hang on for that. But most of the houses we have garages. But most of them are in Blackwood. I don't know if that's an issue.
Black Lake Reynoldsburg Schools?
No.
No, Blackwood Schools.
Yeah,
Lakeland Schools for that?
Licking
Lakeland
Heights.
Heights.
Up off of, I think it's called Meek Road. But yeah, we got this, and there used to be a wall here. We took the wall out.
And open it up. That's good.
Yeah, open it up, because it was too, to me, it was too small to have that walled off. Made the kitchen feel real small. But we totally redid the kitchen, totally redid the bathrooms, totally redid the basement. And we had renter in here for about 4 months. She had to move to Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll get those other documents to you.
Okay. Then we'll follow up Monday, Tuesday.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming. If you have any questions, just give me a shout. Here's one for right there. My email address is probably the best way.
That's not on the website. I'll take this. That way I can scan them to you and just email them to you instead of trying to get to the fax machine.
That's fine.
You're great. Great.
Yeah,
Okay.
Appreciate you guys coming by.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Let me know if you guys have any questions.
Will do.
I can't bring the Lambo. I can't park the Lambo here, man. What the neighbors gonna think? This is not like a Lambo neighborhood. The neighbors might be like, yeah, there's a Lamborghini parked in front of this rental property. There must be some nice stuff inside the rental property. So I can't have the neighbors thinking that. Then they come around peeking in the windows and all that. Nah, bruh. But if it was like a nicer neighborhood, then I might do something like that. Or when I go do my house reviews, then I park the Lambo out. I drive the Lambo to the house reviews. Or sometimes I drive a truck with my kids with me. Come on in.
Hi.
How you feeling?
Are you well?
I'm well.
I'm Linda. You know each other?
Ma'am.
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I just wanted to see the house in person.
Mom, can we go downstairs and see?
No, ma'am. We already had a talk. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
It's rainy, isn't it? There's just so many different types of noises, like
Oh, okay.
so many
What part
different.
of Texas?
Central, so outside of Fort Hood.
Okay.
We're in Temple.
Okay.
Are you from there?
No, but I like Texas.
Okay.
Lots of times.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just stay by mom.
So yeah, there's 3 bedrooms upstairs,
Okay.
2 bathrooms. One is off the master, and then you can check out the basement. There's a washer dryer hooked up,
Okay.
and then there's finished areas, 2 finished areas.
Okay, I saw that on the video. So one of the apartment specs said in half the bath.
There's 2 full baths.
Yeah, it said 2.5, and then the bath half. I was like, wait, I didn't see that on the video.
That must be a mistake.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, because I didn't think so.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
two baths.
do you mind, can I
Yeah,
use the
yeah,
door?
yeah.
Okay.
So did the last night, like, have a chicken coop something in the shed?
You know what? I was wondering because we didn't have these.
See the pieces out flying out. took just a small peek in there, and it looked like they had,
Chicken stuff?
yeah,
I'll get it cleaned out.
it's all good. I was just curious.
So we redid this whole kitchen. There used to be a wall here, and we took the wall out,
Opened it up.
opened it up, exactly.
All the renovation.
Make the-
Say the deal.
Yeah, just trying to get that open concept. And redid the bathrooms completely, all new flooring and carpet. And then we redid those two spaces in the basement. So,
Gotcha. Yeah, it looks pretty good downstairs. Do you have any questions? I don't have any questions.
Yeah, I'm good.
my contact info is right there. Like, that's what it begins to
Yeah.
email, but that'll ring my cell phone as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you for letting us look around.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Okay, take care.
Looks like another closet. How much you got?
Sorry, I did have one question for you. When is it available? Available immediately. Alright.
So you mentioned you have another property by
Yeah.
the end of March?
At
Possibly?
the end of March, I might have a 4-bedroom available.
Okay,
I have another one. It's probably gonna be the beginning of March, but once it goes into March, I can wait till the next month.
okay.
To get alright. But that one's a 3-bedroom, but it only has 1 bathroom. Yeah, it's not as nice as this one, but it's nice. It's similar to this one, it's a little smaller.
Yeah, I definitely need to.
Yeah. How soon is that?
Well, my lease is up April 2nd, but I plan on moving the last week of March because I took off from work
Mhm.
and it happens to be spring break.
Okay.
So I wanted to take that opportunity to move in
Yeah.
to a new place.
Yeah.
That way I can move out and start cleaning because I live in the Alexander Court
Okay.
next to
Yeah.
Giant Eagle
Yeah.
there.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna leave it
Mhm.
as much as possible,
Oh,
so
yeah.
where I found it.
Yeah.
So I would be looking to begin renting the last week of March.
The last week of March.
Yeah.
That house might be worth seeing, but it's only got 1 bathroom.
Yeah, that's gonna be a deal breaker.
Yeah.
There's certain things I won't negotiate in this bathroom.
There's a bathroom in the basement. That I could potentially rehab would be nice. And like, we could probably have it in 2 weeks, which would be.
What about that 4-bedroom? When would you have that available?
4-bedroom, I just don't want to make any promises.
Yeah.
The people are going month to month.
Okay.
So, but they told me that they plan to move out.
Yeah.
Only thing, that one is in Blackwood School.
Yeah, the kids are in STEM schools here in Reynoldsburg.
Okay.
And I know this one, like my daughter goes to Herbert and the boys go to Baldwin STEM. And my plan, I just got here 16 months ago, but I
Okay.
really am impressed with the school district
Mhm.
because of the STEM program.
Mhm.
So, would this location be for Baldwin Junior High School as well? Do you know?
I can check on that.
I checked the listing and it mentioned Wagner because it's right here. Not Wagner, another junior high.
Yeah, I'm not.
But yeah.
Yeah, I only have one house in Roseburg.
Okay.
So most of my houses are in Blacklake, and then I have a couple, 3 of them in Columbus.
Okay.
But I can check.
Okay. Well, I feel like, if I wasn't on the lease, I'd give you a deposit right now. I would. But I'm under an obligation.
Well, I mean, the other thing is, but yeah, actually, so.
I feel like this one's gonna go. Cause it's 2 bedrooms and then it's got this beautiful basement downstairs.
Yeah.
I should just signed the lease for 12 months. It's been for 15. Yeah. But, this is really nice. If you have something just like this,
Yeah, to be honest, we do all of our houses like this.
do you?
Yeah,
Okay.
all of them have granite. All of them have the stainless steel. They all kind of look like this, same color and everything.
I mean, our table is modern, and that's what people are looking for, it's modern. Yeah, and Gordon, is easier to maintain.
No, hold on, 1,
Moms like myself. So that's what I look at, what's good to me, and it's beautiful. Because I'm the rustic, modern, Fixer Upper?
Yeah.
That's my style.
Yeah,
I'm from
yeah.
Texas.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I love that show. That's
Oh my God, I love that show. Love it. Okay, well, listen, you've got my email. If something
Okay.
comes up.
Linda's?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Linda Barza. And
Okay,
so
yeah.
if no one picks up in 2 weeks, you call me.
Okay.
If you're willing to wait, but if you can't, I totally understand.
Yeah, George, just check with me, you know,
Okay.
because you never know, I may have something that pops up.
Just check that with it via email like you've been doing? Okay. Okay.
But my, this number here
Uh-huh.
will ring my cell phone.
Okay, well then let me take this. All right. All right, Will.
I appreciate you guys
Thanks for
stopping
your
by.
time. Thank you.
All right, you guys have a good
Where's
day.
your,
I don't know. July.
this is so big.
And then when I saw these French doors, I was like, no.
Yeah, a couple of, like, whoever had the house before we did, they put in new doors.
Oh, so this was
So
already
this door
here?
was here, all we had to do is clean it up.
Yeah, it's an attic. I mean, someone like me,
You get the
I would even be like, listen, we gonna sell?
Yeah, we thought about selling the house, but the taxes are crushing.
Yeah. So because I just got here, I was planning on, looking to buy. I want to give myself one more year because I'm so used to the area.
Yeah,
And I do work because of the gas, but I still wanna,
yeah.
because it's the biggest,
Yeah,
it's the
yeah.
biggest investment I made, so.
And Columbus is big enough where you kind of want to know the neighborhoods and everything.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give myself one more year, see how I like it. So, cause this snow day on Wednesday when it happened,
Uh-huh.
I had to go downtown to our office, I was like, I drove in, it took me an hour and a half to get to work, which normally takes me about a good 30 minutes.
Oh, there's a lot of snow.
Oh my gosh, and the accidents and all of, like 70 was shut down, and then 270 was like, everyone's like 15 miles an hour, so it was nothing like Texas.
Yeah.
That for sure.
Well, appreciate you guys stopping by.
Thank you. You have a good weekend.
Yeah, just like I said, just check in with me.
I will. I will.
And then if it doesn't leave, then I'll definitely reach out.
Okay. Okay, and if not in 2 weeks, I'll just reach out and see if it's gone or not.
Okay.
All right, you have a good one.
All right, you too. Take care. Careful.
All right, really, Ryan?
Yo, how we doing? We good. Alright, so now y'all see how that goes. Yeah, rehab for 20,000, purchase for 67,000, rehab for 20,000, and it has a value of about 140,000 right now. Yeah, 67,000. So there it is. So what y'all think so far? How we doing? The open house. I finally got a break, but I'm here until 2 o'clock Eastern time. Let me lock this. But yeah, I'm happy with this house so far, man. This house, it's got a nice basement. I'll show you guys. I'm gonna try to show you guys around before I leave. So if you want to see the entire house, I'll show you guys the entire house. All right. Somebody said I'm about to get the guap. Yeah, this is a good investment. Trust me. Like 67,000. Like when I bought that Gallardo, I had the cash to buy that car. For it was 107,000. I had the cash saved up to buy the car, but instead of buying that car, I financed that car and I bought this house with the cash. So I put 67,000 down, bought the house, closed real fast, and then I took 20,000 and I rehabbed this house real nice. Like you can see, like if you guys can't see this kitchen, let me show you. Like that's the kitchen. There used to be a wall right here. It looked real ugly. We knocked the wall down, opened it up, and now, you know, you got the kitchen. Everybody likes this deck out here. This deck is huge. I don't know if you can see it. Then you can go down there to the basement. I'll show you guys the house before before I leave. But anyway, instead of buying the Lamborghini with that 100,000, I bought this house and I financed the Lamborghini and I fixed up this house, and that was I basically invested the money instead of putting it in the car. Because if I bought that car with the cash, I wouldn't be making nothing off of that 100,000, right? But instead, I bought this house, and now this house is gonna make $1,300 a month. Let's see, 1,300 times 12 is what? 1,300 times 12 months. That's $15,600 a year that I'm making off this house. And that payment on that Gallardo is only like $1,000 a month, like a little more than $1,000 a month. So with this investment property, I was making enough to pay for that Gallardo, and then when that Gallardo would have been paid off, I'd still be getting paid off this house. But if I put that $100,000 into that car, then I wouldn't be making anything. So that's why I started making the videos on YouTube to kind of show people different strategies. When you get to that point where you're gonna buy your dream car or buy something nice like that, you might want to think about taking that money and investing it in some real estate or something else that'll pay you $15,000 a year. So what we got? What y'all talking about? We got 47 people on the live stream. I think I did show this house with an agent a long time ago. Yeah, it's a lot better than it used to be for sure. But let me see, what y'all got for me, man? I got any questions? So yeah, that's the problem, man. If I sold it, how much would I pay in taxes? And that's the problem. If I sold it, my profit would be around 50,000, and the taxes at my tax rate with my businesses and stuff, man, I would see a little more than half of that. I see about 60% of that. So 5 times 6, so I would see about 30,000 profit if I sold it. Probably a little less, probably more like 25,000 after you pay your realtor fees and all that stuff, your closing costs. So I'd rather keep it, and there's a whole lot of tax write-offs when you hold property. So it's kind of warm in here. I'm gonna turn the heat down real fast. But yeah, another thing, when I bought this house, I put a brand new air conditioning unit here, and a brand new furnace, and a brand new water tank. So I haven't had any problems with that stuff since. AC works real good, heat works real good, flawless, everything's good in this house. Only thing I think this house really needs that I could probably fix up is gutters. And I got a gutter guy. I may have him come over here. But let me see what y'all talking about. Hey, Guilty Spark, man, thanks. I figured it might be helpful. To show something like this. I don't know exactly how many people are going to show up, but when they do show up, you can see how I handle the people. Like, I try to make them feel welcome. I try to make them feel like I'm not shady or something like that. Like, a lot of times body language will tell people stuff. So if you stay real far away from people, then they think you're trying to hide something, or you're not comfortable about something. So I shake people's hands, I talk to them, but I don't get too close to them because then they feel like you're trying to be intimidating. So but I just show you guys how I do stuff, man. And to be honest, usually so far I showed this house 2 times before this, and both of the people that saw the house wanted to rent the house and submitted applications. But I haven't started reviewing applications because I want to have this open house first. And man, I had from Zillow, I had over 90 people submit interest in this house, asking questions about the house. So I figured the smart thing to do would be to hold an open house, let people come in and check the house out, instead of me trying to go to the house 90 different times to show it. So that's a strategy. If you own rental properties and you got a hot property, you advertise it on Zillow, you should get a good response. But you don't want to be running to the house. The only time I'll come and show a house, like onesie, twosie, or instead of, let me explain what I mean. The only time I'll come and show the house to one family at a time is if that family somehow shows me that they're a real good tenant. And the best way I judge that is based on their lease application. Like they submit a lease application beforehand, or a lot of times people will be moving into your city from out of town, and usually they're professionals. So if I can see that type of situation and the company is moving them to work here as a professional in Columbus, then I know they probably make good money. So I'll show the house to people in that scenario. But for all the local people that I have no idea who they are and all that stuff, I have an open house, so I don't have to come over to the house 50 times to show it. I just show it one day, 2 hours on a Saturday or 2 hours on a Sunday. But usually I don't even do both days. And like, if somebody really wants to see the house and they can't make it, if they can show me that they're a real strong tenant, then I'll just set up an appointment to show the house with them separately. So, y'all got questions, let me know. Hey, Drake Man said, how does the money work on a buy and hold? You gotta clarify that question. How does the money work? I don't know what you mean by that, so just explain that question. Somebody asked me if I own any duplexes. I don't own any I own a half of a duplex, which is like a condo, and it's it's one of my biggest houses. It's a 4-bedroom, half of a duplex. I want to buy the other half, but so far I haven't been able to get it. But I'm gonna keep working on that. Somebody asked me what the specs are on this house. You can go to mossestates.com and you'll see it. It's I think it's the second house on the list, but it's a 3-bedroom, 2 full bathrooms. One of the bathrooms is a master suite, like on the master bedroom there's a bathroom. The reason why people really like this house is because it's totally remodeled. Everything is like new in the house. The bathrooms are like brand new. They got ceramic tile on the floor and everything. And then the other reason people really like this house, I'm gonna give you 2 other reasons. The basement is finished, and it's a nice sized basement with 2 finished rooms in it. And it has a washer and dryer room that's not too bad looking. All the mechanicals are new in the house. They like it for that reason. But then also, if you go outside, there's a real nice big backyard. So a lot of people have pets in Columbus. So they really like that backyard, and it's fenced in. So if you got a little dog, your dog can go out there or whatever, and you don't have to worry about the dog running away. But that's why they like this house. The deck is huge on the back of this house. Like the deck on this house is bigger than my house. So somebody asked me if I know about ambient lighting on the Raptor. I don't know about that. I wish I did. So you got some information, tell me. I'm gonna show the full house. If nobody shows up here in 5 minutes, I'll show the full house. Yeah, I'm down with the track day, man. SRT speed, I'm definitely down. And yeah, the rehab, yeah, was 20 grand. Maybe a little bit more. All right, so we got another family about to show up. Maybe it was a little more than 20,000. And yeah, I advertise on Zillow, Zillow.com. How you doing, man?
Good, how are you? space he's in.
Oh, okay, nice to meet you.
You will?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Good. What have you been?
Yes, sir. Come on in. What? Oh, yeah, man. But you feel free. Here's an information sheet in case you have any questions.
All right.
You from Columbus?
Been here about 8 years.
Okay.
Been here about 8 years. My wife is from here. I lived in Florida prior to this.
Okay. Yeah, you got any questions, man? Just let me know. But we got a fenced-in backyard, got the deck, basement, and there's 2 finished spaces in the basement. There's a washer dryer hookup down there. There's 2 bathrooms upstairs and 3 bedrooms. Feel free to just.
All right. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, let me know if you got any questions. Right here.
Nice, man. A lot more space. Looks like the way outside.
Yeah, outside is pretty small.
You pull up on the outside and say, oh, okay. Another door. Where's this door go?
How much space do you need?
This is it. Now we got, my wife and I, we got 3 boys.
Okay.
And we live over in Carnegie Village.
Yep.
Know where that is? We've been over there about 3 years.
Okay.
And when we moved in 3 years ago, my boys were 3, 4, and 10.
Okay.
And now they're 6, 7, and 13.
Okay. Yeah.
And, you know, as the family grows, you kind of get to looking around like, well, we don't have space in here. We need space, man. But we love the area. So we lived there 3 years. Prior to that, we lived across the street in McNaughton Woods for 2.
Okay. Yeah.
So we've been here. We love being close to the highway. We love the schools that we're around. So when this popped up, you know, my wife was like, oh, that's really close. It's right here where we are.
So is Reynoldsburg where they're going to school?
Yeah, well, you know, the funny thing is, moving from across the street, we changed school districts.
Oh, wow.
Like that. We were Reynoldsburg School District in McNaughton Woods. Moved to Carnegie Village, they said, this is Whitehall zip code.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, we've been driving the kids to Reynoldsburg School for 3 years.
Okay. Yeah. I'm pretty, this is Reynoldsburg School.
Yeah, I saw that, which is part of what got me out.
Okay.
God, I got to drive. You know, and my oldest, he's going to be going to high school next year. He's in 8th grade, you know, and my wife was particular about not wanting him to go to certain schools. We didn't want him to go to Yorktown Middle, so we drive him up to Ashton instead. So yeah, man, all of that is honestly perfect. Honestly perfect.
So I was gonna say, if not, I may have another couple of properties that might become available in the next month or so. But this is the only one in Reynoldsburg.
Yeah, where do you think the other one is?
The other one is in Columbus. I don't know what the school district is. It's close to Hamilton Road, between Maine and Broad. Okay. So the house is real similar to this one. It's a little bit smaller though. And then I have a 4-bedroom in Blackwood.
Oh, geez.
And that was bigger and nicer. It's probably one of my nicest properties.
Yeah, it's 4 bedrooms in Blackwood. I can imagine it being quite the space.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But I apply at the website.
Yeah. There's instructions right there. You'll see the house on the homepage, and you can just click on that, and you'll see all the.
Okay.
You'll see a link to the
We
plot.
go ahead.
You guys have open house today?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm Will.
Hi, Cody. Hello. Hello. Hi.
I'm sorry.
So, the kind of city we go from there to there. I'm not actually where houses, complexes, work office, so on and so forth.
Okay.
So, what type of information do you need to do the application?
Basically, the application's free, but it's pretty standard. We do run a credit check if we agree that you want to rent. The application looks good. We won't run a credit check without checking with you first.
Okay.
If there's 2 people on the application, just submit 2 of them. Yeah, and then there's also the lease requirements are on the website. You'll see a link on that page. Yeah. straightforward.
You know what the
Cool.
color
Yeah,
should-
yeah. Alright, if you got questions, my email is right there, and that'll ring my cell phone, that 88 number.
Alright, sounds
Tracy?
Yeah.
Okay, man, nice to meet you.
You too, appreciate it.
You don't have to worry, kid. Yeah. No, no worries. You speak Spanish?
Yes.
¿De dónde? ¿Sí? ¿De qué parte?
Guanajuato.
Sí. Yo estaba visitando Ciudad de México muchas veces.
Oh, el río de Guanajuato está muy bonito.
Sí.
Sí.
Sí, si tienes preguntas, avísame.
Ok, gracias. Ya, gracias.
How you doing? How are you? Good, good.
Just stop by the open house,
Yeah.
turn on my.
Yeah. I got some information here on the.
Alright, Mike.
Nice to meet you. So this is the information on the place. If y'all have any questions, just give me a holler, but feel free to take a look at. There's 3 bedrooms upstairs,
Okay.
2 bathrooms upstairs with a master suite bathroom, and then there's a finished basement downstairs you guys can check out.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Let me know if you have any questions.
It's very late.
Yeah, ¿todo bien? ¿Le gusta?
So, ¿cuáles son los requerimientos?
Lo más grande es 3 veces a la renta.
¿Ahorita?
Pero no tenemos como requisitos por el credit.
Oh,
No tenemos, pero lo chequeamos para estar seguro
Ajá.
de quién es quién
Sí.
y eso. Pero todo está en el website, no sé de todo de memoria, pero cuando llegan allá vas a ver la casa encima, en el centro, puedes hacer un clic, vas a ver todos los detalles de la casa y después pueden clic para la aplicación. Si hay más de una persona, solo llena, si hay dos aplicaciones.
ok.
También, no sé si tienes preguntas, este es mi email y ese número llega a mi celular.
Ok, muchísimas gracias. ¿Qué tan seguro es porque si nos gustó el lugar? ¿Qué tan seguro es el lugar?
Bueno, yo tenía esa casa por poco menos de 1 año sin problema. Y todo aquí es nuevo. Yo creo que está bien si alguien está viviendo aquí. Pero si no hay nadie, pues puede ser que alguien está mirando lo que hay. Pero nunca nadie entró. Pero tú sabes, no sé cuántos años ustedes están juntos, pero yo vivía en un barrio más malo y no tenía problemas. Pero yo creo que está bien. Y si ustedes querían, podría poner seguridad.
And how much is the application?
It's free.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna be fine. ¿Que nos puedes poner en primer plano? Where are you from?
I'm from here. Yeah. Estaba casado con una dominicana por.
Have you been to Republican?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Dominican?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good place. It's different, but it's a nice place to be.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, you responded to some.
I'm trying to, so I don't forget.
All right, so thank you.
Okay, if you have questions, just let me know.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Mi nombre es Lourdes Martín, mi hija Marisol y
Mucho gusto.
muchas gracias.
Okay, fíjate. Be careful in the snow.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you have any questions, my contact information is on that paper.
Okay. What's your website? You guys have other properties too?
Yeah, we got, most of our properties are in Blacklit.
Okay.
We, Yeah, we might have a 4-bedroom coming available pretty soon, and maybe a 2-bedroom condo that might become available as well.
Okay, we need at least 3 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this is nice, but we need a little more room.
Yeah.
We got a lot of furniture.
Okay. The 4-bedroom is a good amount bigger, but I don't know if you guys need to be in a certain school district.
How are Licking schools, do you know?
My kids went to school there. I don't know.
Because right now we're in Groveport.
Groveport. I would guess it's about the same.
Is it?
But I ended up moving before my kids went to high school, so I don't know
Okay.
real good. So yeah, I can kind of take the wrong thing.
Right.
But yeah, this is Reynoldsburg schools.
Okay.
But then most of the properties we have are in Blackwood different schools.
Okay.
But yeah, I think they're alright.
Okay. Alright.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I would say if there's a little sign up the box on my website where you can put your email, and then when I have new properties, I can email you.
Okay.
And they all are pretty much laid out like this, like the branded. And,
Nice. Yeah. I took a virtual tour on some of them. They don't know.
okay, yeah. So yeah, all of those properties we have right now. Some of them just pop up.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, I noticed that your system was new too.
Yeah. All the mechanicals are new here.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
All right,
We keep contact.
All right, thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah, but who put the
Huh?
table and chair and stuff?
I know.
All right, y'all take care.
No, you should thank you though.
Yeah. Okay, so that was family, I think number 6 or 7. Yeah, I think that was number 7. Y'all probably can keep track better than me. Let me see what kind of questions you guys had. But as you can see, we have different types of people showing up. So you gotta be prepared for all different types of Capri. Shout out to my girl. But anyway, so we got all different types of people showing up at this showing of this rental property here. And one family was from Mexico. So it pays to be able to speak more than one language. Even if you don't speak that language perfectly, at least you can show people that if you have a product or service to offer, you can show people that you value their business by trying to communicate with them in the language that they're most comfortable with. So that's not really why I learned Spanish, like to do business and stuff, but I did learn it, so why not try to use it? And like I said, even if you don't speak perfect Spanish or whatever the language is, if you make an effort, people usually appreciate that. So, that's something that's cool that that happened. Hey, Cappy, you want to rent this house? you first on the list, but you'll never be here. So, hey, I promised to show you guys the house. So I'm actually filming right now. I'm filming. It's not really my phone. It's actually a Mevo device. It's made for live streaming. So in case you guys haven't seen this house, let me show you guys the yard real quick. This is the yard. So this is a lower middle class neighborhood. So it's not anything fancy, but most cities have a large lower middle class, right? So it's a safe bet for a rental property in this price range, in this kind of neighborhood. So anyway, this is the deck. It's a huge deck. It's probably 30 feet wide and about 20 feet deep, 15, 20 feet deep. So, and then the yard is fenced in, so people like that. You know what I'm saying? There's no garage. That's the only downside of this house. There's no garage. But the way we make up for not having a garage is by having a big basement. So I don't know. I'll show you guys before I leave. Before I leave, I'll show you guys the full tour of the house. But here's the little partial tour. You know what I'm saying? So this is bedroom number 1, bedroom number 2, bedroom number 3. Turn on the fan. It's one of the remodeled bathrooms right there. So, but I can't take you guys through the whole house because if somebody shows up and they don't see me, then they might leave, and we don't want that, right? So anyway, yeah, this has been a pretty good open house. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have an application from everybody because one thing that I do, a lot of people charge for their application. I don't charge for my application because I don't run a credit check on somebody unless I want them to rent the place, and that's gonna cost me $30 or something like that. So I eat the cost of the credit check, but the more applicants I have, the better, because then I can choose the best tenants. And people start feeling like they have some skin in the game. They feel like they're invested in your property when they submit an application. So the other thing about not charging an application fee is the more applications you get, you pick one person, but all of those other people that didn't get to rent your house, they got to see your house and they like it. So then the next time you have a house available, they know the level of quality of your houses, and then you can go email those people and say, hey, I got another house available, why don't you come and check it out? And if there was an application fee, then half of those people or more than half of those people might not submit an application. So that's why I make my application free, because I'm building basically a list of prospects. Okay, so far, like I said, 7 or 8 families came so far. I don't know what time it is. Let's see what time it is. Do people charge for application? Yeah, most people do charge for application, Cappy, but I don't charge because of my strategy that I just mentioned. He's at 180,000 cash. Can you have the house right now? I probably would sell it for 180,000, but you'd be overpaying for the house. You know, it's probably worth about 140 or 150, but I don't want to sell it for that much. One day when it's worth 180, I might sell it, but I'm not in a rush. Because them taxes hurt. And Rob, I was telling a story about how I got this house and how much I invested. Because remember, I got that blue Gallardo. I was going to use the money to buy that Gallardo, but instead I financed the Gallardo and I bought this house with cash. The house cost $67,000. The rehab was $20,000. So I have about $87,000 to $90,000 in this house invested. But I'm making $1,300 a month or $15,600 gross a year off of that $87,000 or $90,000 investment. So for me, it's definitely worth it, because that payment that I get for this house paid off that Lambo, or was paying off the Lambo. So I think I might have somebody showing up on the trip. We're good. All right, we're good. That was the neighbor getting ready to leave. So somebody said, Drake Man said, if you had built this one, how much would it have cost you to build this house? Man, to be honest, I think it would cost every bit of 140,000, man, to be honest. It's expensive. If you're gonna build a house, I think it's better, man, like, to me, if I'm gonna build a house, I want the house to be worth over $200,000 when I'm done with it. Because if you build a small house or whatever, it's gonna cost you at least 120,000 just to build a house around here. at least where I am now, and I've only started building one house, and it's expensive because you gotta have all of the different things that you need to pay for, real detailed list, or else you get nickel and dimed on all the different things that could happen that could be expensive. So, so far, like that house that I'm building, the Huracan project, I'm already like 100,000 in, and I don't even have my electric and plumbing signed off on yet. And you know, like I can get into that, like that's a whole different thing that we could talk about in another live stream. So no, Project Huracan is not done. I'm stuck on plumbing right now. My plumber, my general contractor, he tried to do the plumbing, but it failed inspection. So I gotta get a licensed plumber in there that's gonna charge me thousands to fix all of the plumbing stuff. Then once I get plumbing passed and good, then I should be okay. And we should start rolling, and probably only take 2 or 3 months to finish it. But no, it's not done yet. So Rob, did you get the answer? So yeah, I paid cash for this house, and so far, yeah, I used basically all my personal savings to fund Project Huracan, and it's not done yet, but I'm gonna get it done. I just gotta get time and like prioritize it. I need a certified plumber, and I'm trying to get quotes right now. So that was not done yet. Would I recommend a property manager for a 12-unit rental? Man, only if you can find a real good, trustworthy one. When I say trustworthy, that they're not going to nickel and dime you with silly repair fees and stuff. If you can find a real good one, then yeah. But see, the other thing you might consider for when you start getting a bunch of properties is having somebody that works for you part-time. That's a property manager. So they work for you, so you manage all of the expenses. Where if it was an independent property manager, they don't work for you, and so they will manage the expenses, but they might not be looking out for your best interest on the prices and stuff. So you gotta be careful with that, man. But if you can't handle it, yeah, you gotta get a property manager, but just make sure you can get out of the property management contract without no crazy fees or anything like that, if you need to cancel it. Emiliano, what's up, man? Bom dia, Cappy. So somebody asked what would I recommend for a teen wanting to get into real estate? To be honest with you, I would say study first. I'm gonna have a real estate course coming out in March. If you're a teenager, I'll make sure you can take the course. So just stay tuned to my channel. Like just turn your notifications on so you know when I drop a video. And eventually I'm gonna be announcing that real estate class that's gonna be online, and you can take that. So if you're just getting started, man, the first thing you want to do is study. You want to know what you're getting into. You want to know how to evaluate a deal. Like that's where really most of the value of my course is going to be, is talking about the deal, so that you don't lose money and you actually make money. So you got to know how to evaluate these properties. Like this house, when it came on the market, the first time I saw it, they were asking $90,000 for this house, and it was messed up. It wasn't nice, and I was like, nope, I'll pass on that. If it comes down to 65, I'll buy it. That's what I told my realtor. And they just kept it on the market at 90,000. Nobody was buying it. But part of the reason why nobody bought it, that I found out later, is a squatter moved in. So somebody came in and took over this house illegally, and they were living in here, even though it wasn't, they didn't own it or they couldn't legally rent it. Somebody just came in, a squatter. So nobody wanted to buy the house because there was a squatter in it. So for that reason, the Housing and Urban Development Department, HUD, they lowered the price of the house. And I put in a bid, I kept putting in the bid at 65,000. Then I said, I'll raise it a little bit to 67 when the market came back, because I was thinking I was gonna flip this house. So I came to see the house again when my girlfriend was in town, and we came here and we found out that there was a squatter in here, because we opened the front door and a squatter came out like, hey, who's in there? And they had furniture in here and everything. And so me and my girl was like, whoa, that's crazy. So we went back to the car and my realtor started talking to the squatter, like, yo, you're in here illegally. And so nobody wanted to buy the property because it's so hard to evict somebody, or at least they think it's hard. So it scared off most investors, but I wasn't scared of that. I was like, man, if I can get this house for a value with a squatter in it, I don't care. Like, the squatter's gonna have to get out. Like, legally, they're gonna have to get out. And it only really takes about a month to get somebody out. So can I eat a month of expenses on this house when the expenses are only like $130 max? Yeah, I can eat that. So I bought the house, but by the time I bought the house, HUD knew that there was a squatter in here, and they sent some letters saying you gotta get out or it's a federal crime. And the person moved out. So when I got the house, I didn't even have to evict them. So, you know, don't be scared, like, of an opportunity. Don't be scared. Like, if somebody's in there or whatever, eviction takes 1 month max, at least where I'm at. So, D Moss, I am Mr. Moss. Check out my brother's YouTube channel. I am Mr. Moss. That's my brother, D Moss. Check out his channel. Go subscribe to his channel. We need to get his subscribers up because he's got real knowledge, and he's a master genius artist. So he does a lot of artwork, and he can explain it better than I can. But he does a lot of artwork, and he shows it on his channel, and he shows how he does it, and he's actually teaching people and giving some tutorials on becoming a master artist like himself. So, and also he's probably gonna have a course on that. So if you're interested in art, and when I say art, man, he's a master of all of it, but he's a really genius painter as well. So he's got some killer paintings. Like he's working on this one of Pharrell that's ridiculous, it's dope. So check out I Am Mr. Moss. Shout out to my brother. It's my older brother that I grew up with. We call Leroy Henry. They heard Leroy bought the house. They moved out quick. Rob said, how much are the annual repair expenses on the rentals? Man, that's a good question. I could probably pull a report on that. Man, I would say average $1,000 a year, average. Because some houses don't need, I got one tenant in my very first rental property, the guy that lives there, he never called. I had to fix something on the AC once, and he's been there for about 5-6 years, and he never called me to fix anything. I think we might have another family. And they parked on the wrong side of the street. I'm a little bit weary on that. I don't know why they did that. They'll park right here. So maybe they're not coming here from me. But yeah, so let's see. Yeah, I think I average about $1,000 a year in repairs. Maybe less. Maybe it's more like 500 or 600 average on a rental. To be honest, man, the biggest, most expensive thing you have to worry about on the rental properties is plumbing. Because people are always messing up, clogging up the sinks and stuff like that. And plumbers are expensive. So if you can find yourself a good plumber that won't overcharge you, that's what you need, man. Because plumbers will kill you. Plumbers will kill you, man. Plumbers, trust me, man. Plumbers will kill you. So, but other than plumbing, everything else you can find cheap labor to fix everything else. Electrical, carpentry, drywall, that doesn't cost anything. Sometimes like the mechanical stuff can get expensive, like fixing an AC unit or fixing a water tank but that's a plumber, or fixing a furnace. But I got a real good heating and cooling dude that he charges me whatever's fair, and I don't have to worry about him trying to steal from me and stuff. So he's good, like, and he'll put in, a lot of times he'll tell me like, yo, if you just put in a new furnace or a new AC, you won't have to worry about it for at least 10, 20 years. So, you know, I save money that way. So Nigel, should we have our own website marketing plan if we want to get into real estate? Yeah, but you don't have to have that. But I mean, I can't tell you not to do it because I have my own website. But the marketing plan, you can get that information because you're not recreating the wheel, so you can learn how to market real easily by searching online or buying real estate books or just subscribe to my channel. I'll tell you how to market a property. But if you pick the right property, you don't even have to it's so easy to market the right property that it's not nothing to worry about. Like, I put this rental property on Zillow, and I had over 100 people email me about the property. So, I mean, how hard is that? It's not hard to market. So Rob asked me, why do I buy homes off of HUD? And yeah, it's better to buy fixer-uppers, yeah, because you can get them for cheaper. I've never bought, I maybe bought a couple of houses that didn't need work. Okay, I bought a few that didn't need a whole lot of work, but if it needs work, man, usually you can get it for cheaper. And I buy from HUD because it's easy. Like with my realtor, if I want to buy a HUD home that's open to investors, all I have to do is call my realtor and say, I want to bid $50,000 or $60,000 or whatever. I want to bid on this house. And then he'll submit the bid, he'll do that for me. And the next day in the afternoon, usually HUD will respond and say whether or not I got the house. Simple. There's no going back and forth or none of that. No negotiating. The way you negotiate is they say no, and then the next day I can raise my bid a little bit. The only bad thing about it is when there's a lot of competition, you might only have one shot at a good bid with HUD. So that's why I like HUD, man. HUD is easy. Emiliano, that's good, man. Let me know how that goes. Yasser said, I want to go to college this upcoming summer, but knowing you want to get into real estate, but doesn't know what to study. Maybe you might study business administration. Maybe, and then you can pick like a focus like finance, or marketing or something like that. But business administration, you can kind of branch off into different areas. Some schools offer real estate, but I think real estate pigeonholes you maybe a little bit too much. And you can learn real estate after you get your degree. Yeah, man, getting a good renter is gold. Like the renter that I had in here before, I was mad when she had to leave. I wasn't really mad, but I was a little salty when she had to leave because she was such a good tenant. She paid on time. She didn't call me about any knick-knack stuff. It was good. Bugatti the trucker said, quick question. Let's say you have $300,000. Would you buy several cheap houses, fix them up real nice, and ring? Yeah, or you could. You just gotta know what you're doing. Like I would say, or you could take $300,000 and you could buy a couple of flips and turn that $300,000 into $400,000, right? But you just gotta know. You gotta know what you're doing to evaluate a deal, to know if you're buying it for a good price, and then what you can sell it for after you fix it up real nice. But yeah, with $300,000, that's plenty of money to buy some cheaper properties. But when you buy those properties, you could buy a cheap property, but don't buy it in the cheapest neighborhood. Like for me, I like to invest in properties that are in the middle class, can be upper middle class or lower middle class or just right in the middle. But I don't go below a neighborhood that's like middle class. And the way you can tell, basically you can look at a neighborhood and you can estimate what kind of people live there, like what kind of jobs they have, right? So in this neighborhood, for example, this is lower middle class neighborhood, and that's like not to say something offensive to anybody, but it's just a financial thing, like what they probably make every month. The household income around here, I would guess, is probably 50,000 or 40,000. That's probably the household average household income, 40 or 50,000 in this neighborhood. So that would put these people in middle class or lower middle class. And based on the upkeep of the neighborhood, it's lower. It's a lower middle class. Where most of my houses are is middle class, and then I have some houses that are probably maybe upper middle class, but just a few. So if you start talking about buying cheap houses, just don't, in my opinion, you just don't want to go below the middle class, man. Because when you start going below the middle class, then you start having problems collecting rent. You start having problems with people taking care of your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to me personally, I don't feel like dealing with that kind of stuff. So, so you take it. That's the answer to your question, man. Find good deals, man, in good neighborhoods. So Philip Davis asked me, have I ever invested in 16 units or more? No. I would like to eventually get some multi-unit properties, but where I live, there's not that many of them. There's just not. Where I live is mostly single-family homes and apartment complexes and condos. We don't have a whole lot of like buildings where there's just 16 units. That's usually you get that kind of thing a lot on the East Coast, but around here in the Midwest, it's mostly like houses and then apartment complexes. Let's see. So Vivian George asked a good question. He said, how do I receive payments? Do I go to the property to pick up rent? No, I've never done that in all of the years that I've been renting since 2010. I never have gone to a house to pick up rent. To me, I think that's old school, and I don't know, like, that's the stereotypical landlord type stuff. I don't do that. If you can't send me a check or pay online with a check card, like a credit card or a check card, then you're probably not the kind of tenant that I go after. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't need to go knock on your door and collect rent. I will do it. If you ask me that, like, I will go do it. But I've never done that. I had a property manager that used to go do that at some people, but man, you know, like, it's not that hard to make a payment online or to send me a check or to stop by my office. Now, if I didn't have an office, then maybe the likelihood of me picking up a check or picking up some rent might be more high, but I have an office, so people can come into the office and pay rent. But I would never have people come into my house to pay rent. Like, I would never do that. So to answer your question, no, I typically don't go collecting rent door to door. They pay online. Most people pay online. I have some friends that rent for me and they pay in cash. And I might get that money from them in person when I see them. Hey.
Hello.
How are you, man? Come on in. Doing good. How about
You didn't
yourself?
take it up with
No, don't worry.
And this is
you?
for,
Yes, it's fine.
it's for rent, right?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Good. I'm Will.
Will, Phil,
Magnolia.
Magnolia,
Where you from?
Puerto Rico.
See?
Yeah.
Ah, where you
Me
from?
encanta la isla de Encanto, ¿eh?
Ah, la isla del encanto.
Me encanta.
Me encanta la isla del encanto, ¿va?
Sí, me encanta.
Where are you from?
I'm from here, pero estaba casado con una dominicana por casi 10 años.
Oh, so aprendió el español.
Aprendí.
Ah, ok.
Pues bienvenido, esa es la casa que estamos alquilando.
Sí.
¿Ya la rentaron?
Dime.
¿Ya la
¿Ya la
rentaron?
rentaron?
¿Ya se rentó?
No.
¿No todavía no se ha rentado?
Porque mi hija vino,
Ok.
una bolita linda,
Oh.
y está interesada en la casa.
Ah, ok. Y quería que ustedes vean.
Ay,
Sí, que ya se lo rentaron.
Ay, déjasela a ella.
So, este es 3 cuartos, ¿no?
So are we live again? I know we lost a lot of people, but man, my phone went down, man. So my apologies for that. But that was actually the parents of the lady who came here with her 3 kids. That was her parents that live in Columbus. And I guess she wanted them to see the house. And so that's what that was. I got 15 more minutes and then I'm done. So I appreciate you guys keeping me company on this showing. So let me see here. We're live and I'm checking my messages here. My phone ran out of battery, so that's what happened. So yeah, that's the scoop on that's the scoop. They're from Puerto Rico, and their daughter was the one who came with her. She was a real nice lady, right? She came with her 3 kids, and she's so interested in renting the place out that she sent her parents over here to check it out. So they were probably over visiting her because she lives not too far away. And so she sent her parents over here to take a look at it. So I think she really likes it. And she said she would put down a deposit today if she could. But the problem is her lease is not over until the end of March or April. And I really want to rent this place out right away, like in March. But if her application looks good, then I might rent it to her because I like renting to people who don't have problematic personalities, and I could tell by her personality that probably would be real easy to rent to her. So I'm gonna take that into consideration. But I'm gonna look at all the applications and we're gonna go with the best one, right? So Bugatti the trucker figured it out. That's what's up. Yeah, that's what's up. To close the deal. Yeah, this is a successful open house, man. I expect to have applications from everybody, except for the one family that came, the couple that had the little girl. They said this place was a little bit too small for them because they got a lot of furniture and stuff. So I told them I may have some other properties that they might be interested in. So we'll see how that goes. So I don't know if I can see comments on it. I don't think I can see comments on here. That's the only problem. But in case you're just now tuning in, what I did here was I had an open house and a showing for the Gallardo Project. And the reason I call this the Gallardo Project because I bought a Lamborghini Gallardo a while ago, and instead of paying for that car in cash, I took the cash and I bought this house as an investment, and I rehabbed the house. I spent about $20,000 on the rehab. This house was $67,000, and the rent on this house, excuse me, the rent on this house is $1,295, so $1,295 a month. It's about $15,600 a year. So I'm having an open house because I had a tenant in this house, but the tenant moved out after about 6 months because she had to move back to Virginia to be with her family or something like that. So really good tenant, except it looked like she had some chickens or something in some chicken coops or something in the backyard. So some people are starting to do these like have chickens in urban farms and stuff because I guess they eat the eggs and it's cheap and they know it's organic or something, I guess. But anyway, she was a good tenant, but she left about 2 weeks ago. So we cleaned up the house, and I put it on Zillow.com, listed it for rent, and we got a lot of interest in the house. A lot of people were interested in seeing it. So instead of showing the house to every single person that wanted to see the house, I just said, look, I'm showing the house from 12 to 2 on Saturday. If you can make it, come on. So it looked like somebody else is coming. Oh no, we good. I just somebody walking down the street, so we're all right. So anyway, I rented this house out. No, I'm sorry. So yeah, we're having a showing today, and we had probably maybe 9 or 10 families that came through to see it, and I'm gonna be closing up at 2 o'clock, and then I'm gonna go home and work on my real estate course because I'm trying to have that done next month. I wanted to have it finished right on March 1st, but it doesn't look like I'm gonna get it done by March 1st, but I'll have it done sometime next month. So shout out to all of you guys that tuned in and keep me company as I do this open house and the showing. So as I promised, I will show you guys the house. So I'm almost done. So I'll walk you guys through the house real quick, so you can see it. So like I said, this is like a lower middle class neighborhood. I'll show you the outside real quick as well. Like I said, like you could tell by the upkeep of the houses and the cars that people drive and stuff like that. That, you know, like you could guess the income range around here. The household income is probably right around 40,000 or 50,000, something like that. This is an older neighborhood, so you still got some original families in here that own the house. You know what I'm saying? And so there's some older people in here. So that's the front of the house. I'm gonna show you the back of the house. This actually would have been a good flip. This would have been a good flip, but I just didn't want to, because it didn't cost that much. It was okay for me to just rent it out. If it was a more expensive house, I would have flipped it because the mortgage would have been so high. Like, and the reason why you got to pay attention to that is when people move out and you got to pay that mortgage, the higher it is, the more it hurts, right? So if you got a real high mortgage and that person moves out and you got to pay that extra $1,000 a month in the mortgage, then it might hurt a little bit. But anyway, here's the, I'm gonna show you guys the basement. So we finished this. It wasn't finished at first, but I knew because I didn't have a garage, I knew I needed to have some kind of value down here. So I finished this entire space off. So it's a nice big, like, extra living room down here. I think she has some dogs down here. So it looked like she had some furniture down here, some dogs. Messed up my carpet a little bit. But anyway, got another extra living room. And then we got a little poor man's bedroom or whatever you want to call it. But there's a door with a real low doorknob. And then there's some storage space that we put in too underneath the steps. You can't see it because it's kind of dark. But we got a little storage space. And then you got some storage space here in the raw basement area. We just painted it. So let me turn that light off. And then we got a washer dryer area. It's your laundry room basically. And you can see there's a new furnace and new water tank. Zero problems with that. It's the kind of thing you want to do when you buy one of these older houses, is replace the mechanical so you don't have to be running back and forth fixing stuff. So that's the downstairs. There's the kitchen that we remodeled. Oh, we got somebody coming in here, so let me get off of here.
Alright. Nice to meet you.
With Ridge.
Nope, I used to be pest control for some of your properties.
Oh, really?
Fire action.
Oh, okay.
And I was telling you that some crews and stuff.
Oh, over there, Cross Point?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's where our office is at.
Yeah, cause you're in Cross Point.
Yeah, okay, that's what's up, man. So, let me get y'all information on this house. So these are the details, it has the instructions for the application process, right there at the bottom. The application is online, it's free, it's on our website. But the house has 3 bedrooms, totally remodeled. 2 bathrooms upstairs, there's like 1 shared bathroom, and then there's 1 master bathroom, like off the master bedroom. So y'all can just feel free to check it out, and then there's a little bit of extra space in the basement that's finished. So, you know, it's like an extra like living room, basically under this living room. And then there's like underneath this area, there's like not really a bedroom because there's no window, but like a private space with a door on it.
Okay.
Y'all feel free to check it out, and if you have any questions, I'll be right here.
Okay.
Cool.
What's your name again?
Jay.
Jay?
Yeah.
Your name?
Karina.
Karina, okay. Nice to meet you.
You still using action for your custom truck?
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Alright, thanks for coming by.
Alright, nice meeting you.
Alright, y'all be safe.
I still do the pest control, but I just won't do it for them.
Oh, really?
If you need something done under pretense of, like, I got my license and stuff.
Okay.
I just don't have the commercial license or whatever, but.
Shoot me, my email address on there, shoot me your info.
Alright, if it doesn't work something out, I can just be like, say I'm working under you. And
Okay.
just go through stuff.
Okay, alright, yeah.
Yeah, a lot better to do than, having it, real.
Alright, yeah.
Alright, man.
Okay, man, y'all be careful.
Alright, thank you.
Yeah. Alright, so we are done. I believe that was the last showing. I didn't have any appointments, so I'm going based on time, so it's a little bit after 2 o'clock. They said that I don't know if the layout would work for them with the bedroom. They want something a little bit bigger. So I don't think they're gonna put in an application, which is cool. Don't want nobody to live in your house that don't wanna live there. But most of the other people, they wanted the house. Like, I don't know if some of you guys were tuned in, but one lady sent her parents over here to see the house because she was so excited about it. And the mom was trying to convince me to rent it to her. But the problem there is she doesn't need the house until like April, and we're in February, so I would be losing like an extra month of rent. And I don't know that I need to do that. But if her rental application is real strong, I may consider it. You know, I may consider it. So anyway, that was my live stream for the day. I'm about to go get something to eat. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. It's a real life situation of what you can do with an open house. And the reason why I recommend doing an open house when you have rental properties is so that you don't have to run back and forth to the property, and people sometimes they don't show up, and sometimes people are not even qualified to rent the place, but you end up having to run and show it. So the best thing to do when you got a lot of interest in a property is hold an open house on like a day when most people are off, like Saturday or Sunday. So that's what I did here, and I wanted to live stream it so you guys could basically see how I handle people's questions, see how I handle, dealing with people when they come in, basic stuff like that. So I'm gonna leave this live stream up just in case it can help somebody. If you're thinking about renting out a place and how to do it, this is just gonna be another one of those how-tos on how to host an open house. So one of the things I did is I always have something to give people on paper so that I don't tell them the wrong thing off of memories, because I have more than one property. So I always prepare like a little paper that has facts about the home, school district, and then instructions for submitting an application. But what I don't do, I thought about printing out my requirements to lease, but I don't do that because sometimes somebody might not meet the requirements for this property, but they might meet the requirements for another property that you have. So I'd rather that they submit the application so that I have their contact information and I can say, hey, you don't meet the requirements for this house, but we got another house that's coming up, maybe you guys meet the requirements for that one. So I don't print the requirements out for that reason, because sometimes it would discourage people from applying. Another thing that I said is my rental application fee is $0. It's basically free to submit an application, because I'm building up a prospect list of potential renters when they submit those applications, so that when I have new vacancies and new houses available, then I can email those people. But if I charge the fee, then I would get less applications and less people, like less prospects that I can rent to. So anyway, that concludes this live stream. If you guys had a lot of questions that I did not answer, then maybe I'll get on and do a live stream tomorrow. So I can't guarantee what time, because I got a lot of work to do on that online real estate class that I'm working on. And if you are interested in that online real estate class, sign up on my website as a member on willmotivation.com. And if you go there, you can just fill out the little form that pops up, and then I can email you when the course is ready. And I'm going to be giving away the course free to some people, but the only how you can get that is if you are a member of my website, willmotivation.com. So anyway, I hope this live stream was helpful, and I love y'all. Appreciate you guys for supporting my channel and supporting me, keeping me company on this live stream. Oh, I almost forgot. Somebody asked to see the house. So I'll show you guys real quick. Show you guys the house real quick. So I already showed downstairs. If you didn't see the downstairs, you're just gonna have to rewind the live stream when we get it posted back up. But I promise to show the upstairs. So here's the upstairs. This is it. So this is bedroom number 1. It's a small bedroom. Man, I didn't know that stuff was in here. I gotta get rid of that. Man, paid somebody to clean up. They didn't do such a great job. Anyway, that's bedroom number 1. This is the bathroom. We rehabbed this bathroom. You know, shower, put towel in everywhere. I don't like how they didn't match the towel grout when they rehabbed it. But it is what it is. This is bedroom number 2. And this is bedroom number 3, which is the master bedroom. It's a little bit bigger, but it's a small house, so the bedrooms aren't that big. Closets are not huge either. But you got a huge backyard. You got a master bathroom, you know. So that's for the master suite. You got a ceiling fan in every room. And that is the main floor. So try to keep my promises. I leave the lights on because nobody's here, but I want anybody walking by at night to think that there's somebody in here. You see what I'm saying? So I leave the lights on in the bedrooms. Turn the lights off in this main area. The lights are on the back porch. If you got a rental property and it's vacant, I suggest you make it look like somebody might be there. Okay, so anyway, that's it. Appreciate you guys tuning in. This is Will Motivation. Go sign up on my website, because that's where you get all the updates. willmotivation.com. WILL motivation.com. All right, peace. I'll holler at you guys later. Oh, I just dropped another video where I gave a speech at a university in Atlanta. I just dropped that video earlier today, so if you're interested, check that out. It's kind of like a true story about how I got into entrepreneurship, how I got into real estate, how I started my company, my software company, all that good stuff. I thought it was a pretty good video. It's a little bit longer, but if you got some time, check it out tonight or today, whenever. All right, peace. Talk to you guys later.